charting success. Hi, I'm Debbie. Dancehall track hits Billboard, giving Shenseea her first and Skillibeng his second appearance on the Hot 100. It's two producers set to drop more remixes of Shake It to the Max, with, among others, Cartel and Sean Paul.
And if you hear this song, then go and bend your back, go and bend your knees, baby, shake it to the max. With the DJ please turn up the bass to the max.
Silent Addy and Disco Neil, Miami-based DJs, marketed together as Bashment.
We do parties, we have a label, we put out music, and we have merch.
Shake It to the Max delivered as a beat last August.
And then we had Molly come to our studio in Miami. I clearly had her in mind because we were working with her on several other songs.
What was it that you liked about Molly?
Well, it was the tone of her voice that stuck out immediately. I heard her tone and I was just like, man, I think we have the right production that would be paired with that.
On top of it, she's a really good writer as well. She like quick, and everything she do always kind of stand out, you know, on any kind of rhythm.
Would you say Shake It to the Max is a dancehall track?
I would definitely classify it as a dancehall track. It has a lot to do with, obviously, like our background is Jamaican, you know what I mean? I was born in the States, but my parents are Jamaican, so the heritage, everything comes from here, you know? So all the stuff that we've been working on has always had that in mind, whether it's the merch, the events, everything goes back to that root.
Our whole brand is dancehall.
Shake it to the max. Shake it to the max.
It's like from a genre that's really popular in French Caribbean called Chata, which is a dancehall baby. You know what I'm saying? So it's basically that vibe, like, you know, traveling to Europe, traveling to Paris, and seeing the vibes over there and saying like, yo, this is dancehall. Like, they're singing in French, but it's patois.
The Molly track featuring Skillibeng and Shenseea entering the Billboard Hot 100 this week at 91.
I feel like the music necessarily hasn't been translating as much coming out of Jamaica. I feel like sometimes the content might be a little too dark sometimes, but I also feel like this song is a fun song, and I feel like that's why it's doing the numbers it's doing and doing as well as it's doing, because it's that kind of good vibes and good energy that's infectious, like no matter where you're from.
If we break up, yeah, you know that it's a loss. Upgraded every dude I ever tossed.
I feel like it's almost like a smaller mind mentality, but they don't really see it necessarily because they're in this bubble and they think that, but I feel like if you really look at it on a big scale, like the content and all that stuff is very important to be able to cross certain barriers and get the music to certain places, you know what I mean? I hope that this song will open a lot of people's eyes and kind of switch the narrative to what's going on right now and just show them that, like, look, this is possible, you know what I mean? Like, if you have the right content, the right vibe, the right energy, like, the music can cross into crazy places.
Also, like we said, we're from Jamaica, but we live in Miami, and we also travel all around the world too, and we know what people listen to, and it's not necessarily what's popping in Jamaica. You know, they like the older, the 90s, early 2000s. Like, I see, like, you know, I DJ for people all the time, you know? So if I play a new song, and because I want to introduce it to them, it won't get the same energy and vibes as like you know, Sean Paul, or, you know what I'm saying, like the classics.
So the missing element, if I'm hearing you guys correctly, is precisely what is in this song. It's fun, you want to dance, it's infectious.
Yeah, 100%.
So Molly had the song originally as her song. Why do you think it's the remix that actually made it onto Billboard?
Obviously, we had two international, you know, superstars that came on the song, and, you know, they garner like individually a lot of attention. So once we brought them together, we knew it was going to be explosive, it was going to be crazy, especially because the track was doing as well as it was doing by itself before they got involved. So it was really just adding fuel to the fire that was already burning, you know what I mean? And with them two on it, it just took it to another level.
Well, I mean, the song was popping on TikTok before it came out, 2 months before it came out. This is before the song was even on streaming platforms. It was already going viral, you know? But it was going viral in Africa and kinda in Jamaica. what I'm saying? And then we dropped it in December,
Yeah.
and then the remix came late February.
Classy. Real bad girl, ma get nasty.
They did a dance over in Africa, and that's what went viral
Yeah.
initially.
Papa said big up to Molly for that, because Molly actually really is good at TikTok.
In an interview recently, Shenseea says the original is Molly's song, but the remix is hers. All of this just serves to create a little bit more of a buzz around the song.
With them embracing it, each artist embracing it as much as they has, like Skilly, Shen, they've been going crazy on their socials and promoting the song.
Yeah, we all winning from the song, so it's like, it's a big win for dancehall. That's how we take it. So if Shenseea want to claim it, yo,
okay.
please, please do.
Please just rewind, let me shake it to the max.
The duo getting frantic calls thanks to all that shaking.
Like people who never want to answer my call 2 years ago, them are blow up my phone right now.
I mean, honestly, when I was creating it, I was just thinking, like, I want something simple but infectious that still has the vibe and the bounce that it needs to have, but simple melodies, and all that was thought out ahead of time and planned, because I feel like also a lot of the records that do translate are more of a simplistic nature.
We're DJs first and then producers second. So when we make music, we think about music, what other DJs want to play, what records we can make to fit into my set.
Yeah.
If it can fit into my set, it can fit into my brethren's set.
15 years in the business and new wind in their sails.
Right now we have Kalash and Maureen. They're two top artists from overseas. French Caribbean. That one is out. We just dropped the Major Lazer remix. Major Lazer, Diplo, and them did a remix to it as well. We just teased the Sean Paul on our IG. We have a Stefflon Don and Vibes Cartel in the works. So yeah, it's not over.
Do you see these guys appearing together at sort of major gigs?
I feel like when it lines up, sometimes it can line up, sometimes it's not as easy. But I mean, luckily, like, I felt like the stars aligned for Vibes Cartel's concert in New York, and Shen, Molly, Skilly were able to share the stage, and that was an amazing moment.
But even when there are successful features on a track, sometimes to arrange that, it's not always easy, because it's people with different expectations and people, let's face it, with a lot of egos.
And
Who else are you excited about?
Yeah, Massacre and I Don't are at the top of the list right now.
And at the moment, recording Skilly Bang.
He's a star. Actually working with him and recording him and seeing his whole process, Skilly is one of the sickest artists I've ever been around. Super fast, and he will like spit something that's a hit and move on to the next thing and forget that he just did that. So yeah, he's the truth.
Who knows, maybe more magic on the way for Silent Addy and Disco Neil, but right now, Shake It to the Max, already being hailed as the song of the summer.
Please just rewind, let me shake it to the max.